I don't like that. Too much jumping. Good morning. Hey, I'm Edie.
I'm Judy,
And
and
together
together
we're
we're
the
the
Rainbow
Rainbow
Grannies.
Grannies. Hey!
Yay!
So we've been a while, but we come on here normally Saturday and Sunday morning, 8 o'clock Eastern time, just uplifting the LGBTQ community. We are a married couple, and we're here to talk with all of you. We're on live on TikTok and YouTube at the same time, so you'll be seeing us, swiveling our heads. But we're here to talk about whatever it is we want to talk about while having coffee. Come up and join us for a cup of coffee.
So this gives us a chance, since we're recording on our YouTube today while we're doing our TikTok. What we do is TikTok allows us, there's so many people that join us on our TikTok that they type in the screen and everything. So that way it allows us to have conversation and questions and stuff like that we can share. So
And we are an older couple. Here I am switching my glasses so I can read the screen. Dan is here on YouTube from Australia.
good morning, Van. Okay, so what we were going to try to ask you guys on if there's anything else you want to talk about too, all you have to do is just type it in there. And we also don't talk politics and we don't
Right.
talk religion unless it has to do with the LGBT plus community.
We almost did that in unison.
Right. So I mean, we're here, we'll talk about of course, when everybody was worried about what was going to happen with with the gay marriages, it was very scary and stuff. And it's
Yeah.
still scary, but it is what it is. All we can do is just be who we
No
are.
one can legislate who we love no matter what happens
That's right.
in Congress. So here, Nicole is here on YouTube. Love you guys. You guys have made me smile throughout the last 6 months of losing my wife. Just wanted to say thank you.
Oh, Nicole, thank you. I'm so glad we're here for you. You know what? I mean, the truth of the matter is a lot of people do know that Judy's father passed away right before Christmas. So that's why we've not been on here as much as we'd like. We've been dealing with all the personal family stuff and everything like that. So I want to let you guys know we appreciate when we turned on and logged back on that you guys were here.
And Diane is here and says, if I'm Otter, notes and coffee. Good morning, lovely.
Good morning, everybody. Let's see. So on here on YouTube or on TikTok, can you do me a favor and type in the screen where you're from, and we'll give it a little shout out and get the chat rolling and get the conversation going.
That's right. So,
hey, sexy mama, how you doing? Susan Thurman's from Virginia. Wi-Fi gun is from Philly,
Atlanta.
Yes.
Thank you for your thoughts. Yeah.
Louisiana, Steel City, Kate Hayward, Pittsburgh too. There's Deborah from Massachusetts, Beyonce from Youngstown, Ohio, Indiana,
Bloomington, Indiana, Columbia, Maryland, Philadelphia, North Carolina, Indiana, DMV. What's DMV?
I don't know. Department of Motor Vehicles.
Yeah.
Gainesville, Florida,
Southern Indiana, Pennsylvania, the weird part.
I don't know what part that could be.
Ohio, Queens, New York. Hey, and on here we have Australia and Nevada and Nebraska. Cool, it's all over.
Yeah, here's Texas, North Coast, California, Cleveland, Ohio, Sweden, Utah, DC, Virginia.
Delaware, Virginia, Maryland is DMV.
Oh, okay. Okay. Or DC, I forget. It's okay.
That's like we call Pittsburgh, in the tri-state area. That means
Northwestern Ohio, Bloomington.
Yeah, I was born and raised in upstate New York.
Well, it's nice. I'm glad there's Phoenix, Arizona, Eastern Connecticut. Boy, there's a lot of people here today. Let's see, what state do you live in? We're right here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I would love to say home of the Steelers, but boy, are they disappointing us. How about that?
I'm glad I didn't say it then because I was going to say, I don't watch football. I don't know these things. Arkansas, South Central Pennsylvania.
Yeah, so let's see. So we have a couple things we want to share with you guys.
Yeah.
One of the things is our neighbors. We have the coolest neighbors.
We do.
And I was just reading this thing online about, the word holler. Let's see.
Okay. Let's look at this. Any advice for a gay guy who's 26 who has never had a significant other? I feel like I'm late to it.
You know what? I don't think you're late.
Mm-mm.
I think you're just on time. I think
Mhm.
you had time enough to take time out to maybe get to know yourself a little bit
Right.
and find out what you like to do. Did you find out what you like to do? Like, do you like to jet ski or, because so many times people fall into relationships so young and so
Hmm.
early that, hell,
They
they're in
don't
their
get to
teens.
explore. They don't explore all their own
Right.
personal interests yet.
That's what happens. They jump into a relationship in their teens, and then they end up marrying this person and living the first 10 years of their lives in pure hell. And
And struggling financially and all
yeah,
that.
yeah. And then they find out after they split up and leave and all that kind of stuff that they actually like to go camping and there's all kind of stuff they might like to do. So
Yeah.
now you're at the age where you've probably figured out there's some things you like to do and things you don't like to do.
Right. And so now, and then finding a significant other, you go do those activities you like to do, and you may find other people who like to do it too. You'll meet them there.
That's right. They're there. They're there. And you know what? A lot of them are on their second relationship. So you're
Make
going to
sure you
catch
get
them.
the one who did their work after the
Yeah.
first one messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
You
you're
want to be with the one who said, yeah, we were both had problems that affect. You don't want to be with the one that said, oh, yeah, it was all that one's fault. You don't want to be with that one. Mm-mm, mm-mm. Take two to tango, as they say.
So Timbo came out in 1992. Congratulations, Kimbo. Oh, this is true. Tap, tap, tap your screen. Tapping is clapping. If you're enjoying, we get up on Saturday and Sunday morning here, and you're enjoying the LGBT plus community and the opportunity to learn and have fun, please tap our screen. If you tap long enough, this confetti shoots out your screen here, and it's
I'm
pretty
afraid
cool.
I'll be judged. Oh, he's never had a boyfriend. He's weird. No, and you know what? There are actually a whole lot of people who have, who are in their 20s who have not, a lot of gay guys who have not had a boyfriend. There are a lot of women who want girlfriends who have not yet because some people do actually wait. They
And
wait
I
before they
think,
come
and
out.
as
They wait
far as
before they
being
realize
weird,
it.
I think everybody's a little weird. You know how they
Yeah,
say,
what's the
they'll
standard?
say, she's on the spectrum. You know what? Everybody's on the spectrum.
Mhm.
There's degrees of whatever. I saw here where Steel City Kate said, that was me on the second relationship. My girlfriend didn't find someone until she was 41, and
And
it's
it's me.
me.
There you
Well,
go.
then, hey, thank
Oh,
God you found
and
somebody.
Danny says, weird is beautiful.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I want to tell you we appreciate all the gifts too. I see Daniel
Oh,
sent us some
I got to catch up on the
ice cream
kissing.
cones there. Whenever you send gifts, we try to make sure we give each other a little peck on the cheek or whatever
That's right.
in appreciation for them,
Hi,
along with the
Amber.
fact that,
Mm,
that all that money goes into a little account that TikTok sends us. Oh, look at here.
wow. Woo, good morning. Woo, that's
TikTok sends us once a
right in
month
my
a nice little
eye.
check. Now, it's never a big check. It's not enough for us to go out and get that lakefront house I want, but it's enough for us to buy a nice pizza.
Yes,
You know,
even with some toppings on it.
honestly, last month we
And
got
maybe
two
brownies.
pizzas. Last month it was so good we were able to get two pizzas, and it was like nice. Why you got to bring up the brownies? You make people think we're like in brownies or something.
Oh, no. From
No,
Domino's.
There's a pizza
From
shop. Yeah,
Domino's,
Domino.
and they let us know every step that they're in the oven now. 5 more minutes. They're out of the oven now.
So
Weird
Weston
is
says,
beautiful. I didn't even mean that in a negative way, but it's just the way of the world.
yeah, oh yeah, don't worry about it. Weird is fun. I've always been weird, and in a way of speaking, I've always been weird. And you know what? Judy liked my weirdness.
I don't notice
I mean,
that
she
she's
actually
weird.
thinks I'm cool. That goes to show you how weird she is.
So Diane was actually married in 2021.
Congratulations, Diane. Let's see, you two are so cute together. Thank you very much.
You only live once. Be who you are and be proud.
Bree, that's exactly what I say too. Go for it. Go for it
Mm.
because you only get one shot.
Everybody have your cup of coffee.
Better have some coffee. It's so cold out there. You know what? It's so cold out there that I was looking for those
How cold is it?
those griff things, right? I think they call them griffs or whatever, and it was it's so cold. It was colder than a witch's tit, And I thought, I don't know about a witch's tit because I never, I don't know. I don't know.
Where that expression
I
came
don't know
from.
where that came from, If by chance I say something that TikTok puts us in TikTok jail, you'll find us on our YouTube channel, which is Edie and Judy Rainbow Grannies. our YouTube channel, if you go to my profile on TikTok right now and you click on that thing that looks like a little TV screen, it'll take you to our YouTube channel, and then that way you'll follow us, subscribe on there, and you'll know where we are.
Wow. So in Phoenix, it's 37 in Phoenix, they said, and that's cold for them.
Right. Hey, reach up
Yeah.
underneath your shirt and tell me how cold.
I don't put sugar in my coffee now that I just found out I'm diabetic. Oh, let's see. So we've been getting gifts.
Thank you very much for all the gifts.
So
we really appreciate it.
Yeah, Nicole, 10 degrees now in Nevada. Really? See, I 18 degrees. I can't. It's hard for me to imagine these desert areas or these states that have deserts in them can get so cold. Though
You know what?
At nighttime it gets real cold in the desert.
For everybody that made fun of us for living in like Pennsylvania where it's so cold, how you like me now? At least we're not fighting a hurricane.
And so we did have 6 degrees the other night, and so we opened up some of the faucets to let them drip, and some we didn't because the rooms are so hot, warm in there.
We're sweating.
And 2 of our cold water taps stopped running in the morning.
Yeah, we had freezes. We had pipes freeze in the wall, and Judy had a nice guy that's a plumber come over and take a look and everything, and he told us where to put a heater.
Yeah, and he
so
said,
you want to make sure you do that.
He just had recommendations, because we didn't take apart the walls or anything. You just walked around with us trying to figure out where the pipes were.
Right. And no, sexy mama, I really don't have any advice for any adults, any people with diabetes. I am what they call pre-diabetic, and so I'm just recently dealing with it. What I've been told is, if I take off some more of this weight that I gained, then chances are my diabetes will go away. So that's what they say. So that's the goal, is to try to take off some of the weight. I also want to, so right now, while we get a chance, we really would like, because Judy's got a pen, paper and a pen here. If you have any questions or any concerns of anything that have to do with being
older and gay and
the
health treatment, well, not seeking health treatment, but how the health industry treats us.
Yeah. Because we want to be able to use any of those questions and problems and things that you guys bring up on that conference that they have us, scheduled to speak at.
Right. I don't think we mentioned this yet with YouTube Live, but we're going to be talking at a conference. We've been invited to talk at a conference as an older lesbian couple to talk about our personal experiences with the health industry when we go for healthcare, how we're treated, what our needs are, what the barriers are. And so we thought we would open it up here because we've been relatively healthy, and we also go through life sometimes just in perfect harmony here on top of our hill at the cul-de-sac with a lot of queer and queer-friendly folks who live on our street. And so going out into the world, we're not in a nursing home. We're not looking at needing to be with one anytime soon.
Right, thank God.
And been relatively fine. And so we wanted to hear from other folks. What are your concerns? What have been your barriers? And also because we're a lesbian couple, and we know the queer community is broad. And so we're talking about there could be a broad range of experiences that the health professionals should know about when they're working with gay patients.
So that's what it is they want to know these things. So they're actually asking us to be able to help share with them any kind of problems that the community is having. So, so this is your opportunity too, to, because there's a lot of people that are transgender and things like that may be having, transgender issues. And, that's this alarm that goes off in my phone every day, and I don't know how to turn it off. I don't even know where it's at. It was on, I said it like a long time ago, and then I made the picture of it go away, and now I don't know.
I have to give you, because we're getting so many gifts.
Yeah, but
okay, you're kind, worthy, resilient, loved, brave, needed, wanted, and forgiven. I'm proud of forgiven. Did we do something wrong?
I didn't do that wrong.
I miss y'all. How is Judy's dad doing?
Judy's dad passed.
Yeah, and family all came in, and we're hanging in there okay. So here's an example. If we were like in a waiting room at a doctor's office, and there was this, especially a white straight couple, older couple, and one of them was the patient, we pretty much scene where the doctor just calls them both back into the room, and oftentimes we'll see that they'll actually talk to the guy, and we don't know. The woman might be the one who's the patient, but the
Yeah.
guy will speak for her.
Yeah. Oh
And if
yeah.
the guy's the patient, well, they'll talk to the
She's been
guy.
having pain all up and down her back and all this, and it's like she can speak, right? Her lips
Uh-huh.
work.
Uh-huh. And I've probably seen it with my own parents where
Right.
my mom would lean on my dad and let him. And in a way, maybe it was okay because she felt sick, so it was nice to be able to lean on him. But we'll also see the health professionals will just talk to the guy too. He's not leaning on the woman.
Yeah.
And though this might be like this is the picture that the health professional is used to dealing with, and we all don't fit that picture.
Right.
So
Right.
now what?
So we might as well just talk a little bit about what happened to us.
Yeah. Okay.
So Judy went to the doctor last week and she was having trouble with her eye. Would
Right.
you like
We were
to
at
tell
the
them?
ER. Sure.
I'm going to get
we were at
a
the
refill
ER.
in my coffee.
Oh, okay.
Good.
We went to the ER because my eye is okay, but I had the fear that I might be getting a detached retina because some people when you get older you start getting those floaters in your eyes and stuff. So there's something that's going on with older people, and it's really okay. But the risk is a detached retina. So I wanted to hurry up, and that can make you blind like within 2 days. So hey, Portugal is in the house. So I went to the ER instead of waiting for my doctor's office to open. And well, because I went to the ER where they had an ophthalmologist, we're waiting and waiting and waiting in the waiting room. And then I started thinking, oh, I don't need to stay here because it probably is just this minor problem and I can wait till tomorrow for the doctor to open. And right when I was going to think about, no, we're leaving, they said, oh, no, they're calling you back now. I said, okay. So a guy came out into the waiting room to get me, called out my name. And so I was up there at the desk already. And so I called for Edie to come with me. And he looked at Edie and said, who are you?
Real gruff.
And I said, this is my wife. He's coming in with me. And he said, what? He said, no, you don't come in this first part. And that was it. And then so Edie went back to sit down in the waiting room. So this guy took me into a room there, and he just got my history. Why am I there, and all of this. So I thought, okay, I guess this is the first part, and I couldn't understand why Edie couldn't come with me. So then he told me that it will still be 2 hours before the doctor can see you. So now I'm here thinking I don't want to wait 2 hours, but I don't know if I have to pay my copay. So I went up to the desk to find out if I leave now without seeing the doctor, do I still have to do a copay? And they said yes. And it was a huge copay, much more than I thought it would be. So I said, okay, I'm going to stay. By that time, another woman came to get me to take me to another room. And so I had all of that going on in my mind. I wasn't thinking about, well, when are they getting Edie? When can she come in with me? And they had me put me in the other room. And then I saw a couple come in, and it was a guy and a woman. The woman had visitor tag on her coat.
I had a visitor tag.
And Edie had a visitor tag on her coat. That's what they give you if you're not the patient. And so I called a nurse and I said, well, my wife is in the waiting room. Can she come back here with me too? I mean, I see everybody has somebody back here with them. And he said, oh yeah. And I was on the phone with Edie. And I said, okay, Edie, go up to the desk and let them know to bring you back here. And you can talk from there because you didn't want to.
No, I wouldn't go up to the desk and ask because I had already been offended and hurt and felt like, whoa. When he looked at me so mean, and he says, no, he's like, who are you? Real gruff like that. Yeah. I was just like, wow, So, of course, because of being beat down our whole entire lives for several different reasons, I was afraid to go up to the desk and say, I should be back there with my wife, or can I go back there with my wife? And
pretty much just get rebuffed again.
Right, and it would tell me no, and, get back there, go sit down, you lesbian, you black lesbian. Right. That's the way it felt,
really, it's going to be. And I'm on the phone, and what's going through my head is I'm here in a waiting room with people who have an eye problem. There are no contagious diseases in the room I'm in. And I know Edie's in a waiting room where there's all kind of problems coming in there. People with all kind of problems coming in. And I wanted to get her out of that world and into the waiting room with me where she'd be safe. Right? Right. So even more so than just thinking about, I want Edie to be with me. No. I wanted her in a safe room with me.
Along with this was emergency room kind of in downtown Pittsburgh where there was several of the crazies.
Right. You get people who are, they're crazy
seeking
on drugs and all kinds of stuff. You don't know who's going to be walking into that waiting room.
And I know you guys think I'm cool. but I am
We
still
old.
65. You know,
And
with,
that's part of
with
it
a,
too. We all still 65.
you
Don't
know,
want to be
with
sitting
a
in that
bad
waiting
knee
room.
and a bad hip, you know. So
So after that, I mean, the nurse went and got Edie from the waiting room
yes,
and brought her back. And from there, everything was great. Everything was smooth. Everybody was just wonderful. All the patients in the waiting room were wonderful. Oh, Edie even talked with the woman out in the other
yeah.
waiting room. There's another woman who. Well, why don't you say?
Well, she had her mother and her brother were back there seeing an eye doctor at the same time. And so she was out there having just conversation with me because believe it or not, no matter where I go, I can always talk to somebody. So me and her and I were sitting there talking and stuff. And when it happened and they didn't let me go back with Judy, I told her, I says, can you believe they didn't, they don't let me go back? And she says, well, wonder why. And I says, we all know why. So yes, we are legally married, and
And it wouldn't matter
it
again if
doesn't
the
really
patient
matter.
can bring anybody they want with them
You
back
you
there.
should be able. If I
So,
say I want to bring back Jack the Ripper with me, as long as Jack doesn't have his knife out,
right.
he should be able to come. You know.
So, but
So
anyway, this woman in the waiting room got exposure to, she got to witness this
right.
kind of discrimination.
So when they did
And
come and get me and take me back with her, I looked
yeah.
at her with sincerity in my eyes, tears in my eyes in a way, and I said to her, I said, now you finally got to see and experience what we experience. Judy and I get kind of spoiled in our lives because we live in this nice little neighborhood,
right.
community where everybody seems to be fine and good and all this. And we go to the store and we wear our pride stuff and everything's just fine. That we forget that there are this out there. And even though we were at this hospital, and I'd say 100 of the people that worked there were just fine.
Right.
There was that one person that made the whole experience like, what? I mean, they bought me a sandwich later on and everything, and that was without me really complaining. It's the one lady.
And once we were back there, in the waiting room where the patients were, we weren't complaining about anything. I mean, everything, just having a conversation.
We didn't even tell them.
No,
we didn't even tell the
tell
people
them what happened
in the waiting room about. We went back there, and it was probably about 4 or 5 different couples, that were sitting there, and they were all sitting there talking and laughing and stuff because they had all been there for hours too, and they all had eye problems. When I walked in that room, you walk in a room with 6 people in there with eye problems. I looked at them. I said, "Damn, you guys are messed up." I mean, it was bad. One guy had a piece of metal in his eye.
Yeah.
He looked bad. Another one had a cataract that was infected. It was bad. I thought maybe I'd be safer out there in that waiting room where the, COVID and everything else was out there. And the drug people and all that.
So here's the thing, and I'm reading the comments, and yes, thank you. It's true. We don't deserve that. There are steps we can take, and I mean, we're not. We're just sharing this experience. This is something that happened to us as an older lesbian couple out in the world, just trying to get our health care like everybody else. We didn't fit the picture of everybody else in that waiting room.
Right.
Actually, they were all straight, white, older couples. Except one guy, he was by himself, but
yeah,
still.
But I did have that silly hat on. That could have thrown him off a little bit.
Yeah, but that's the other thing, right? We start looking, I mean, really seriously, we start looking and saying, well, maybe it's because of the hat I was wearing, not because I didn't look like this couple. I mean, if I said to him, this is my wife, she's coming in with me, enough. Then why would he say, who are you? No, you can't come in.
Right. It was definitely, it was bad.
I mean, we said that, Edie said, well, if the patient maybe was going in with a black eye, maybe they would be cautious.
Yes. If she had a black eye and a limp, they should be hesitant to see if
this person that wants it. But then that kind of person wouldn't have been all the way across the waiting room. That kind of person would have been attached to my shoulder walking with me. So, yeah, it wasn't the hat. No, but these are the thoughts, right? Because
so what we'd like for you to do is to share with us any kind of incidents that have happened with you like that, so that we'll be able to help bring this up when they have that conference, so that we'll know, that these are the other things that are happening in the medical community with our community with our community,
right? Or things that you're afraid of, or the reasons that you don't go to seek help.
This is true. Her eye's good. She's good. She's just getting old. The doctor that saw her at the very end, he was a handsome young doctor, cute, and he even had he had on these lavender like scrubs, and then he had on like a lavender fanny pack that he wore in the front. And I thought, now that's the way to dress. So he was really nice. He told us all about Judy's eye and what was going on and everything with it. And at the in a month, unless something starts going crazy with it, in a month or something, it should settle down. It should settle down. And these are things that happen sometimes. And he didn't say it was because she's old.
No, what did he say?
He said it's because of how many birthdays she's had.
There we go.
And I was just like, so you mean she's old, right? And then it was funny because her daughter says, well, you mean you don't have it? Well, just because I'm a little bit older than her don't mean that I got old eyes.
Not everybody gets old. No, your eyes aren't old.
My eyes aren't old.
Your eyes are just floaty. Look at those floaty eyes. Maybe I need floaty eyes. Maybe if I had floaty eyes, I wouldn't have this problem.
I don't have old eyes.
No, you have floaty eyes.
I got old knee and hip.
And you used to have old shoulders.
Let's see. I have been lucky with Michael.
They let me go in with him, and he's allowed to come in with me.
We haven't had any problem anywhere either, and I think that was part of why it just threw us for a loop.
Right.
I mean, right. I'm just so used to being able to say.
And we didn't know how to stand up for ourselves.
No, that bothered me too.
Yeah.
Because of being, I'll tell you the truth, you guys, you don't even know, because of being a Black woman and dealing with these kind of things. Our lives, and always being humbling ourselves, should I say? That it's embarrassing to say, but with always being humbling myself so that to not get any kind of ruffles, because I'll tell you, the first time, and this used to happen to me at my job, if I would raise my voice or be upset about something, the first thing I was looked at was like an angry Black woman. And most of you that have watched our channel here for the past 4 years or so probably realize that the one thing I am not is an angry Black woman. But if you raise your voice, that's the first thing that they look at you as is, you're an angry Black woman. And then throw on top of that the fact that I'm a lesbian and I'm trying to, defend my wife. That makes me even louder and more anger, know. And some of it, I think, you may look at it as it's a projection. Look at the snow coming down.
Wow. So I'm writing notes down while Edie's talking. I'm writing some of your notes down. I'm writing notes down based on some of the things you're saying.
That's right, Yvette. Others can do it, and it's not a problem. But me, I was afraid to go up to that front desk and approach him and say, "Excuse me, my wife is back there, and I would like to go back there and sit in the waiting room with her." I mean, they'd already said it was going to be 2 hours more of her sitting in the waiting room before she could see a doctor. We'd already sat 2 hours in the first waiting room. We spent over 4 or 5 hours. How long?
Yeah.
At the hospital.
Oh yeah, it was a 6-hour day. I think, at the hospital.
6 hours. I mean, thank God we were back there where it was a nice bunch of people to sit and talk about. Okay, Steel Woman here says, my wife is African American, and I wish yeah, but see, that's where you're feeling like you can go and do that. We don't feel that. I'm afraid to go, and I know, you guys don't understand about being afraid, but I'm afraid to approach them and say, hey, wait a minute, because I mean, I can't tell you how many times it just seems like next thing you know, the security's there, or something like that, because you just got a little loud and wanted to make sure you got what was entitled to you,
And so Nicole over here on YouTube was saying that they're young, they're in the 30s and 40s, and she's also had to say, I'm her wife. She's had to shout it out, say, I'm her wife. So, and so it's not saying it's not just about older couples.
Right.
Having to do this. And then somebody else said here to ask things like your preferred pronoun. So I put that note down here too.
Yes. And sometimes they do, so I think we had just gotten really relaxed about the fact that the world has gotten so much better that I was just in a shock.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's one of those situations where if I could do it over again, boy, would I handle this one a little different. But that's only because now I've had time to realize that, wait a minute, he shouldn't treat me like this. He shouldn't have talked to us like this. Right. He should have, when she said, matter of fact, he shouldn't have even asked who I was, because
he saw me call call to Edie from across the room.
Right. So if she called me to come back with her, it doesn't matter who I am. This is, I mean, I saw this other patient come in. Lady must have been 100. Well, maybe that's a bit of exaggeration. She would
She
say
looked it though.
90, 95, something like
She
that.
looked ancient. She looked
Yes.
like
And she had a
ancient,
young
ancient.
person with her
Mm-hmm.
that I couldn't tell, what their relationship was. But when they went back, they didn't ask, who are you going back with her?
Right.
They were both, you know,
Mm-hmm.
both white women, and they went right back there, took care of her needs
Mm-hmm.
and everything. Then both of them came back out and sat in the waiting room. Are we missing
Yeah.
some stuff here? When you want to read this?
Well, when I was married to my ex-wife, I never had any issues. Now I worry more about the future. And Miss Edie, you grew up in the 70s when it was acceptable to discriminate. It follows you in life.
Yes, it does, Yvette. Yes,
Now I'm
it
ready to
does. Don't
cry.
cry.
Right?
Yes, it does, and it's
Mm-hmm.
hard for us to realize, what to do now, and we're afraid. We're afraid, and that's terrible too, because that fear comes from the fear of my grandmother and grandfather.
Yeah.
It doesn't really have anything to do with, I guess, maybe with being gay, but it has to do with, the fear that we've carried throughout the generations of
Mm-hmm.
not speaking up and saying how you feel, because you're so afraid that somebody's going to say, hey, you don't have the right to feel that.
Yeah.
You don't have the right to tell me what you're supposed to do. When I tell you
Uh-huh.
to go sit down in that waiting room, that's exactly what you're supposed to do.
Right. That's how they would talk.
And that's how I felt. And that's what I
Yeah.
did. And then I was afraid to go up there to the desk and say, excuse me, that's my wife. Can I go back? Because what happens if they would have got me
Right.
again?
Right. And then here's the difference. When you talk about interracial couples, I want to say this is probably something the difference between us. I have a different kind of history I carry with me, but it's certainly not this one. Right. And for me, I was just defiant. My attitude was defiant. And so now it's like, yes, you can go, you can go to the desk and ask them to show you where to come
And
back
I was
here
like, no.
because I
She
have
she messaged me
made the
this.
point.
She's
Right.
telling me this.
Right.
Just go up to the desk and tell them. It's like, no, I'm not going up to the desk and telling them nothing. I'll just sit right here and talk to this nice lady that we're talking,
Uh-huh.
And that lady and I, which she was a white, older lady, maybe in her
Mhm.
50s, 60s or something like that.
Mhm.
And she was just shocked by the whole thing too. She was sitting there witnessing, watching how I was being treated in the emergency room.
Right. And so and 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 again, because I mean, maybe in a way that we complement each other is because there are things that Edie will stand up for that I might not, and there are things I'll stand up for that Edie won't. And for me, that protectiveness of me is the whole health and safety thing. I wanted Edie in a safe space. I wasn't even thinking about wanting Edie with me when I see the doctor. It's gonna be 2 hours yet. But I wanted Edie in a safe space with me. I couldn't be sitting there in a safe space knowing she was in an unsafe space.
Right. And they did have
And
security at the
yeah, they have security there,
but there
but
was still a lot of,
and people can be coming in with COVID and all these things,
right. I
it's
mean, I
like
had a mask
pneumonia. I mean,
on.
all kinds of
Right.
right,
Right. I put a
right,
mask on in that waiting room because there were just so many people that were coming and going that I really, at our age, we just really don't need exposed to no. I mean, not even at our age, just don't need exposed to the things that are going on in an
right.
emergency room.
And
People
so
are sick in there. It's not like just regular going somewhere.
right.
This
So
is where
here,
all the sick people go to hang out.
right. So
They all go to the emergency rooms. Like, oh my god.
well, and yeah. Like so we'll go back and forth. We're near downtown Pittsburgh, and so you also have people who need their drugs, going in there trying to get their fix, right?
Right.
I've been through the same. Just act with confidence and kindness. Yes, here I wanted to read. I had a male doctor tell me the pain I was feeling wasn't that bad.
Right.
I was getting a biopsy after a pap.
Oh my.
Right.
So he
And
had no idea what kind of pain you were feeling.
right.
If you think that's something, can you imagine? I mean, I feel for you. I understand. But that's something that us as minorities have experienced our whole lives.
Oh
We're
yeah.
supposedly have a higher pain tolerance, so they could do a biopsy to Judy and they're going to give her some morphine or something like that to dull
Yeah.
her pain. But I get one and I'm supposed to just get up and limp home and just be fine.
Right. Right. I always try to avoid bringing up issues because I know they expect me to be combative. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, that
Yeah.
might be somebody of
Yeah.
color, right?
Yeah.
And that's why me too, and that's why I wouldn't say something. That's why I was sitting there just feeling like, okay, this is just the way it is. I'll just wait here in this. I mean, I had change on me. I had a credit card. They had a vending machine. I'm sitting there watching people come and go. I love watching people and their stuff and everything like that. But it was very hurtful, very, very hurtful. So what was nice was to let that one lady, to be able to interact with that one lady that was sitting across from me, and
Mm-hmm.
for her, if I didn't get anything good out of the whole entire day, this
Mm-hmm.
woman that was an older straight woman
Mm-hmm.
that had children that were in college, and some of hers were like overseas and stuff like that, to for
Yeah.
her to actually experience the
To witness
prejudice,
it.
and yeah, to witness it right there, and to
Mm-hmm.
see that me and you had sit there with her for an hour, and we
Mm-hmm.
laughed and talked about everything,
Right.
and then to see that I was a semi-normal person,
Mm-hmm.
and then to see me mistreated like that, she got to
Mm-hmm.
witness it, and for me to be able to call it out to her and say to her, you have just witnessed something that we deal with on a daily basis. After my hernia,
Yeah.
I was, this is from Wesley. After my hernia surgery, I was still feeling something. I was told it was ghost pain. Wow. Yes, Marley, I'm semi-normal.
This is something else that it was nice, I think, with Edie and Edie's personality is that you do easily talk with people, and you easily talk with people with everyday stuff. And so I it seems all the time when I see you go in a room of people you don't know and just talking with them about everyday stuff, they easily talk with you about the everyday stuff. And then for someone to see something like that happen, I think it really registers
Yeah,
like, oh
yeah,
my God, I can't believe this, right?
right,
And this woman is going to remember that. And hopefully it means in the future when somebody sees someone not be able to speak up for themselves,
right.
she might
She
know to
might be
say
able to
something.
cross over,
Mm-hmm.
because I mean, and that's sad that I would feel, as I mean, here I am, as old as I am, as successful, honestly, as I
Yeah.
am, to feel that I need someone like her or someone like her to
Mm-hmm.
step up for me and say something so that I don't feel, so I'm not getting that angry black woman.
Right. But
Maybe I should get me a hat.
I'm not an angry black
No,
woman.
I was thinking about getting one that says I
I
am.
thought maybe I'm not an angry black woman. I'm just asking for something like
Yeah,
everybody
I
else.
just, right. Maybe I should do a T-shirt. I'm not an angry black woman. I'm just asking a question. Honestly, here, jot that down.
Yeah,
I do have that
yeah,
cricket machine. I was thinking I
right.
need to start making something. Boy, I bet you those would be nice T-shirts, huh? You think I could sell those? I'm not an angry. Matter of fact, I think even white people could wear those. I'm not
Uh-huh.
an angry black woman. I just want to ask a question. Thank you. Looky there. KCL says she'd buy one. Thank you very much, man. I tell you, I was figuring
Yeah.
out how I can make that money in order to get that lake house.
So, what about other experiences? Because I have a few from other folks' experiences here. What are other experiences, or what you're afraid of? So we can bring this up. Somebody here earlier said, yeah, they think people in the medical community should have sensitivity training, and I don't know if they do or not, but certainly they should have, and that's
Well, I
part of the
think they
purpose of
do.
this
And
conference,
right, I think they
right?
do, but I think somebody skipped that class, or somebody just
And he
somebody
was.
has so much prejudice and hate inside of
I
him.
thought I gotta say, he was an older guy, but I'm looking at him like older than us. But we're older. We're the
Right,
same generation as us.
right.
This
I
is
mean, I thought if
pathetic.
anything, he was a little
It's
younger than us.
pathetic. Right.
He was a little younger than us, so I was really, surprised to see him act like
Oh,
that.
Adelaide's here from Mexico.
Hey, Adelaide
Hey.
from Mexico, how you doing? Tell me it's snowing in Mexico, Adelaide, because it's
And
snowing
it's six
everywhere.
degrees.
We just saw pictures of Ocean City, and they had snowmen. People were building snowmen on the beach.
Little who said maybe a woman took his wife. Maybe
Maybe,
that's what happened.
maybe, or dun dun dun, he wants to come out, and
Mm-hmm.
he's angry because he just can't. He can't do it. A lot of times, that's what we run up against. Is a lot of people
Yeah.
that are angry because they can't come out and be who they want to be, who they are.
Yeah. Some
Let's
doctors
see.
just don't have good bedside manners at all. It's
They
true. And they
forget we are
forget
the customer and paying the service, but treated. Well, you know what
as if
though?
they were doing us a favor.
Right, but you know what? They don't care about us being the customer. They don't care about us paying the bill or nothing like that. All they got on their mind is they're doing a job. I want to know who did you piss off in order to get that job on a weekend in the
Right.
afternoon at the emergency room.
Right.
I mean,
he probably wasn't supposed to be on that day.
you know,
He was ticked
who
off.
did you miss? Who
But
did
then why he have to go and take it out on you?
Yeah, why are you up?
I don't care.
Why? I mean, I would rather work somewhere else than to be there. That had to be just pure hell, you know.
Yeah. Anything else? Anything else?
So yes. So
you
what
know.
we were asking for. So anybody that hasn't been here long, for one, I'm Edie.
I'm Judy.
And together
we're
we're
the
the
Rainbow
Grannies.
Grannies.
We come on here every Saturday and Sunday morning at 8:00 in the morning, if weather provide and everything else. And we have coffee with the Rainbow Grannies. We are part of the LGBT plus community.
Yes.
We share our adventures and what's going on in our lives.
Right.
So,
and we like to hear what's going on in your lives and what kind of questions you've got. And we'll answer almost anything.
Almost anything. So what we have going on is we've been contacted in order for us to do a virtual for a conference that's going on.
Right. For medical.
A medical
profession.
conference. So this medical conference is wanting us to talk about issues with the LGBT plus community and medical issues, things that we can help them as far as like from nursing homes or from dentist offices, psychiatrists, things that you have that are your interests and concerns. And this is an opportunity for you guys to share with us whatever's going on with you or what you want to know about or what you hate, what you like, whatever, so that we can share it with them.
Has anybody been in a nursing home or anybody's got, gay parents in a nursing home and you've got something to share with us or you've got concerns or anybody got concerns about? I mean, I know back in the day, our group, my generation, when we were in our 40s, they were already starting to talk about, wow, we got to build a nursing home for gay people. And we're really working on it, but you need a lot of money to do that. And they were concerned because back then, thank you.
It says, wait, I gotta tell you.
I love
it
an
says
angry,
Judy
beautiful
needs,
black woman.
Yes, Judy needs a t-shirt that says, I love an angry, beautiful black woman. I love that.
As long as the anger is not directed at me.
Yes. Here, write that down too. I mean, because maybe next week I
should clarify that. Nobody wants their spouse's anger directed at them.
Yeah, but my anger is so mild compared to, real anger. I'm one of them silent anger. I get mad and I'll just go and sit down in the room. And let's see. The doctors actually need to listen to us patients. A lot of them are very dismissive. Well, yes, and I think that's something too. What I was also wondering too or thinking about, with the world changing as it's changing, and so many people are trancing. What is it?
What are we talking about?
Like when you I'm sorry.
Talking about transgender patients?
Right.
Patients who are transgendered and what experiences or what needs they've got.
Because I got a feeling that that's really a real issue is being transgender.
I'm Candace. Nice to meet you. Hey, Candace.
Hi, Candace. So when they end up in the nursing home and stuff, this is really going to be rough.
Yeah.
You figure, I mean, being in a nursing home has got to be rough no matter straight, gay, whatever. But the big thing is to make sure that everyone is treated with respect in there. You know?
I'm asking this Candace who we talked with on the phone yesterday.
Oh, okay. Candace, we were asking, okay, we got it. Candace is we were asking on here, Candace, so that we could Candace, no. Well, Candace, it's nice to meet you.
Well, we were talking with the Candace yesterday, so that's why I wanted, but it's good to meet you.
Yeah, very nice to meet you.
Yes, that is a big issue in transgender patients. And so, what are some of the specific issues that we could bring up, that we could mention? We're going to be talking about our experiences, but what I want to also be able to talk about are experiences or concerns that we've heard from our community here on TikTok,
right,
and YouTube.
Because that was part
YouTube,
of why they
able to
contacted us, is because there was so many. Oh, okay, wait, I did have somebody ask if they were going to have it on YouTube, the conference or whatever. The conference is going to be held on Zoom, and it's not until February 20th. So when it comes down to that time, then we'll actually post it so that anybody that wants an opportunity, because they said, they're going to send out a brochure and everything, so that anybody that wants the opportunity to watch that conference and see us, and be able to type into the questions just like you do here, they will be able to. Thank you, everybody, for all the love and all the gifts that you are given. Do me a favor on TikTok here. Tap, tap, tap the screen. We only have 29,000 likes, and we need, for as much talking as Judy and I have been doing, we should be up to at least 40,000 right now.
So here, Adelaide, by the way, she said it's cold but not snowing in the mountains in Mexico.
Oh, okay.
She said that important to share facilities that provide good care to LGBTQ plus. And what I want to know is, what does that good care look like? And then here we have.
Does it look any different than the care that you get for just regular straight people? Is there anything that, because all I can see is I just want to make sure that we're all treated equally and
right. I think about things like, if I ended up having to go into a nursing home, I know that it's going to be heterocentric, which means I may be going in gay. People may be fine with me being gay. There'll probably be a lot of LGBTQ staff there and all of this. But I know that the culture of the place is still straight, and I will feel like an outsider. It's kind of like I can go to different synagogues, but I go to a gay one because I know that there's something gay-centric about it, what the straight ones don't have. But another example is I can go to a grocery store in one neighborhood where they know that there's a large Jewish population, and they'll have food items and products for us. I can go to another Giant Eagle store in a predominantly Black neighborhood, and I know there's going to be food and products catering to the people live in that neighborhood, right? And so you go to a store where they've got the things that you need, right? Or that you're used to, or at least you're looking for. But what happens when you're going into a nursing home? And the nursing home is just always some other culture that's not yours.
Yeah. I mean, as far as food wise goes, I got a feeling that if you have a certain diet and you go in those places, it's going to be, that would be really rough.
Right.
And I think that they should be catering more towards like a vegetarian one, and then a non-vegetarian, so you can at least get by on picks like that. As far as food goes, as far as your sexuality.
I mean, nursing home in June. Are they going to have Pride Fest in the nursing home in June?
Well, you know what? Oh my goodness, wouldn't that be fun?
Right.
But you know what? We did have that. I go to the Hugh Lane Wellness facility here in Pittsburgh, and that they have a senior group that we meet on Wednesday mornings, and we have coffee and donuts, and we chit chat and lie about what we did when we were young. And I listen to these guys, and it's so fun when you see 70-year-old guys talking about, what do you call them, poles, stripper poles, dance about stripper poles. It is funny, they get me laughing and stuff like that. So when Pride came, next door to them is the regular straight, what do you call that, senior center. So we took rainbow sherbet and rainbow cookies and went over next door, and we had a rainbow pride celebration. And most of them, it was funny because most of them didn't know what we were doing there. All they knew was it was free cookies and sherbet. So it's nice to have that opportunity. Do you want to read that?
So Adley wrote, my friend Shane, a trans man, received excellent care at a particular hospice facility in Columbus. This is Kobacher, Kobacher, if anybody's in Columbus. Same good care and welcoming to the LGBTQ families and friends.
Yeah. Right. Well, and that was probably because they seeked out one. I mean, I don't know this for sure, but they seeked out one that had a good history of treating people, with...
Right. That's one of the things that you had mentioned before, too, that if you're looking for a doctor and you're new in Pittsburgh area, you looked up doctors who are good for the LGBTQ
cater to
community.
the LGBT community, right? And that's when I decided to have my knee done. I wanted to make sure that the doctor that I went to see, because I had seen one that I could tell wasn't on the same page with me. And I'm not asking you to like invite me over for lunch. I'm not asking you, hook me up with your sister. I'm just asking you to treat me decent. That's all.
And the other thing we should let the medical profession, or no, the medical profession know is that when there is somebody serving a patient who is rude, word will spread like wildfire.
Sure
and
will.
and they'll lose a lot of patients
Well, you know
besides
what
the queer
though?
ones.
I purposely did not take down the man's name that was rude to us at the office the other day
Yeah.
because I knew
You would call
if
his name
I
out.
knew his name, I would have
Sure.
called him out. I would have thrown him up on YouTube and everything. I would have let everybody know exactly what his name was and exactly the hospital that we went to that they treated us or treated me like that, which they treated us like that. Because if you mistreat
Yeah.
me,
You mistreat everybody.
you mistreat her.
Yeah.
Because if you make me unhappy,
You
you
me
make her
really
unhappy. She just don't get labeled as an angry black woman.
That's right. I was just going to say, where do they label me?
Yeah, you probably just, I don't know.
Probably the rude Jew.
Probably, but I don't think your hair is curly enough. They don't know.
Yeah, it's not dark and curly, and I don't have round glasses.
Yeah, they're a little bit
So
round.
you're the rounder.
Yeah. Here, wait, try these on and let me know if you look a little more Jewish. Isn't she cute? Oh,
you can see through these.
No.
Oh my
they're
goodness!
dirty.
You should try mine on and see what things look like. Growing up in Detroit, I just don't judge people. I look at each person as that. So what else? So have I missed anything? I've been asking about your experiences. Have I missed anything about your experiences that we haven't got written down?
Well, I did have, I'm going to talk about this for a second. With what you just read right there. The other day I had someone tell me that he had sat and had a meeting with someone. And while having that meeting with them, they couldn't decide if the woman says to it's a transgender person. And so they go by X and them. And
yeah.
So anyway, she said, and the whole time they were talking, she never even noticed if she was black. And it was just like, who are you trying to bullshit? Unless you're blind.
And you can't hear even somebody's voice.
Right. You can't, so to try to pretend like you can't tell if someone's black or you can't
like
tell
you
if they're
don't notice it, like it's not
right. Because I love the world so much that I just don't even see you in color. You can see. Yeah. You just see me as a person. That's a very nice thing. You see me that I'm a kind, nice person or I'm an angry black woman, depending on which one you get that day.
So I need a rainbow granny hug. Here you go.
Big old rainbow granny hug. Ooh, yeah. I like it when you do that. I like it when you squeeze me like that.
So nursing home. So some things I was thinking about. Pride Fest in June, meetup group. So that here's an example. I went to a women's playwrights conference, and we all had to introduce, our name and where we were from. So, hi, I'm Judy from Pittsburgh. One woman stood up and said, hi, I'm Carolyn from Lesbian Nation. And when we had a break, all the lesbians went over to Carolyn from Lesbian Nation. And we could all, we all knew now where to go, where to congregate, that because we're just scattered around the room. Right. We wouldn't be able to find each other otherwise. So I'm saying meetup groups in the nursing home. It might be a meetup group for queer patients so that they can find one another and make friends.
Or if they want to, and then what happens too is so many people have spent their whole entire lives in the closet.
Right.
That they're getting ready to call it quits. You all know what happens when you get there. You get ready to call it quits. So to have the opportunity to hang out with other people from your community that you wish you would have got a chance to hang out with has got to be pretty nice. I would think.
Wait, so say this again. A lot of people
that have been in the closet all those years. If you're having some kind of pride or something at the nursing home, it would allow me, even though I've never been out, to be down there having coffee and stuff and hanging out with the rest of the gay people, because this is my last chance to say, hey, I really like being with gay people. I really want to be with one or whatever.
And I'm thinking pronouns on name tags.
Hmm.
You know, everybody in the health profession, they should have their pronouns on their name tag to just
Right,
show that they're a safe place.
right, right.
And they got to live up
And
to
you
the
know what?
reputation.
It wouldn't have hurt when they gave us a name tag at the hospital neither.
Hmm.
You know,
Hmm.
for one, we were there probably 6 hours. We were saying, let me tell you this too. 6 hours is no playing around when you're in a nurse or when you're at a
Yeah,
hospital in
right.
emergency room. That's a long time. But what I did notice that I thought was so funny was, thank you for the love, was on my name tag. It didn't have my name.
Oh, yeah.
It didn't have, the location. It had a date, a
Yeah.
date. And so that meant if they told me that I was going in, yeah, I got there on the 8th. Oh my God. No wonder it took so long to get out of there. They don't even put you down as your name. They just want
You
to know
put
what day
down
you
what day
came
you
in.
came in.
Yeah.
I've been here for 3 days
Yeah,
now.
3 days later. You know, the one lady, she came, the nurse, she came and apologized to us in the we were in that small waiting room with the people
Yeah.
with the eye problems, the people who was
Yeah.
messed up, looking like they was beat up. It was rough in there. So I mean, it was scary. So when she came to the door and she apologized because there was a man that was on drugs and alcohol out in the hallway and he was kind of like out of control. And she apologized and asked us if there was anything we needed and stuff. This was after everything had settled down and I was with normal people that didn't look at me as being an angry black
Uh-huh.
woman or as a hated lesbian.
Uh-huh.
So she says, "Is there anything I can get you guys? Anything you need?" I look right at her right away because when somebody offers, I'm there, right? I says, "Well, we could use something to eat, something to eat, and maybe a little something to drink." She says, "Would you
Wow.
like a sandwich?" I'm like, "Well, yeah, a sandwich would be nice." She says, "Do you want ham or turkey?" I said, "Turkey'd be good." And then they all start speaking up. "Yeah, I'd like to have one." And she looked at them. She said, "I don't know. I have to check and see if you guys can have
You're
one
the patient. You
because
might
you're
not be
the
allowed to
patients.
eat.
Yeah, you might not be able to eat because you might have some kind of scan or something. But since she's not the patient, and I'm like, oh, I'm thinking, yeah, it's about time. My world works out a little bit better than everybody else's. So then she bought the sandwich to me, which looked like it had been laying in the refrigerator for about 3 days. But I ate it anyway. I mean, it had cheese on it and turkey and I felt really bad eating that in front of all the rest of them, but there was nowhere for me to go. If I would have went out in the hall, that guy was out there, the one that was carrying on so
Uh-huh.
bad.
And he had to go to the bathroom so bad. He
Yeah,
was
he
going
was
to
going to
go
whip it out. He
anywhere.
was whipping it right out, and they even told him, "You can't whip that out here in front of people." And I'm thinking the whole time, I'm thinking, whip what out? Oh my God. And then so of course that makes you have like was he whipping out or was he whipping out? I'm up in there thinking all that stuff. I'm thinking, oh
I want
my
to thank you all
God.
for all the gifts. I've been seeing all the gifts come in. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks.
Mwah, mwah.
Thank you very much. But anyway, I ate my sandwich in front of all of them. I tried to make it look like it tastes awful. I did say, that sandwich is horrible. You guys should be glad you don't have one. And then it did
I
kind of,
actually ate the entire sandwich.
and I don't like that kind of imitation cheese. I don't think you should put that on a sandwich unless somebody asks for it.
So I'd like to ask him why I was in the ER, and so some folk might have missed the beginning of this. It was minor. I was concerned about having a torn retina, so I wanted to hurry up and get it looked at, and it was okay.
Yeah,
I'm
so it
fine.
turns out there's all that's wrong with her eye is that she's had too many birthdays
Hmm.
and that
And I getting worn out.
it is, yeah, she's looked at some things she probably shouldn't have seen.
I should have had floaty eyes like Edie my whole life, and I would be fine. Mhm.
Oh, thank you very much. Somebody said, "Edie and Judy, I miss you ladies so much." Let's see. And then Deb says, "I am so glad I came across you guys." Thank you very much, Deb. Let me make sure I throw out there. We are really grateful you came across us. I want to thank you all for hanging out and watching us on the weekends like this. We have a good time. We love our coffee. Something about when we have coffee on here with them, it
Mhm.
does make it so much funner. It's so much funner than sitting here just having coffee, just us. Even though it is
Uh-huh.
this is
It
kind
is
of,
nice
but
to
we do
hang out.
get a chance to talk about other stuff because
Mhm.
they throw out some
Yeah,
conversation there
yeah.
for us.
And so So if you think of anything else, or after we're done, this will be on YouTube. You can always type in the comments any other things you think about that we could bring up at the
Right.
conference. That
Anything
would be
that has to
great.
do with the healthcare facilities or your needs, anything like that. If you would please go over to our YouTube channel, which is Edie and Judy Rainbow Grannies, and type it in the comments after, when it starts running as a recorded, and in that way it'll save all those comments and we'll be able to see them all and share them when we do the conference. The conference is on February the 20th, and they said they will send us the link so that we can share the link with everybody, and you guys will be able to go on there, type what you want, or ask questions, or actually support us. And that's
Yeah.
what we really think is cool.
Yeah.
Thank you, all the new followers we got. We got so many new followers
Right.
this morning.
I had a couple other ideas I jotted down here.
Yeah.
I was thinking nursing home, going into a nursing home. You know, we were talking about a lot of older couples, and older than us, who have continued staying closeted their entire life. They continued having separate bedrooms at home, even their entire lives. Don't let anybody know that they're a couple. And now say one's going into a nursing home.
Right.
They could ask questions like, who would you like to have with you that we could talk with? And then they can say this person without having to say the relationship. And the other thing I thought about is
Right. Because
normally,
that's the problem too.
yeah,
They ask you right out, well, what relation is she
right,
to you? It's really none of your damn business what relationship she is.
uh-huh.
She's the relationship is that's the person I've picked to be my co
My advocate or my
right.
company, my friend, to
Right.
be with
So
me. The other thing I thought about is straight couples, especially if they've been married and one dies, then the health profession knows that you're a widow or a widower,
right.
right? Gay couples, maybe they got married late like us, then you would also know. But there are all those who never got married and who stayed closeted. And so
Well,
gotta
there's really nothing
be
they
aware that they may have had a recent loss too.
yeah. And there's
Yeah.
really nothing we can do about this.
Mm-hmm.
But part of it, I feel, really, really jerks my chain is the fact that Social Security, when I found out that I was able to get my ex husband's Social Security, it blowed my mind. I was just like, whoa, I get my ex husband's Social Security? You mean the one that I was married to and I divorced and then I married again and I still get a check every month from him?
Uh-huh.
This makes, and so then all the people from back when Judy and
Yeah.
everybody decided to marry women, even though it wasn't legally,
Right.
she can't get her partner's Social Security,
Right.
and it's just so wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm glad I get that check. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. you know, I mean, I was
But
surprised. But there should be some way to go back and if you got
Yeah.
paperwork to prove that you and that person lived together for over the 10 years, because they're just asking that we were married over 10 years, then you should get it too. Everybody should get it too. And that's just because you paid into the system too.
Right.
So Frizzy says, hey, grannies, what's going on? How y'all doing? We're doing good.
So we came through from the holiday, came out of the holidays, and ta-da! We got a gift from some folks who live on the street.
Right. The neighbors down the street gave us a gift. Well, actually, that's what I was talking about earlier too.
Yeah.
When I saw that thing about haulers, haulers are like this dirt road that goes back into the hills there.
Yeah.
And like at the road, you got all these neighborhood houses. They're not like we would hope, but neighborhood houses out in there. Right. And some of them have relatives that all live up the holler, And so what I saw in there this morning when I was reading that was how they gifted gifts to each other. And like somebody would make the meat, and somebody had vegetables and they canned and they shared all this. So when I looked at that and I thought about it, I thought we live in a modern day holler. It's a cul-de-sac and it's paved, but this is a holler because when Christmas came, we gave out gifts to we bought these big things of cookies in the tins. We gave them out to every person on our street, and every one of them on our street had delivered something like candies, all kind of candies and cookies and all kind of goodies, to our house too. And it was just so nice. So we live in a modern day holler.
How about that?
Yep. Makes me
good.
just want to yodel. Yodel,
Go ahead,
hee,
go for
yeah,
it.
hee, ole, hee, yeah, hee, ole, hee. How
That's
about
pretty
that?
good.
Yeah, well, you know, it's not my first time to yodel.
Wow.
How many
So,
other angry black women you know that yodel?
what's that?
How many other angry black women you know that
I
yodel?
don't know.
None.
None.
Absolutely
Probably
none.
not.
I am the only angry black woman that yodels. So go ahead, share the book with
Rachel
them.
says, thanks for being there. So, let's see what this book is about. I'm going to open the ribbon.
Here, wait, let me help you.
Mm.
Yeah,
All right.
I got that for
You
you.
got the prize.
I got that for you, mama girl.
Yes.
Go ahead.
This is called Santa's Husband. Woo! The true story of Mr. and Mr. Claus.
So the neighbors gave us this book, and we hadn't opened it yet to look at it. So we were really excited, but we wanted to save it and make sure we brought it out on YouTube so that you guys would get to see it.
Santa's Husband.
And we also want to make sure that you remember to send us any of the messages. So, you know, don't forget, that was our subject today.
This is Santa Claus over here. And this is Santa Claus Husband.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, look at that. They are married.
I
Let's see.
I think we should save it and read it to the baby.
Yeah, Santa and his husband live in the North Pole. Whoop, I'm bumping
I'm
you.
watching it.
At the very top of the world. They're kind of like us.
Yes, we are at the very top of the
We live
world.
at the very top of the world too, and we're married too.
And I'm
They
Santa.
they love keeping each other cozy in the cold, but each
Oh.
year it seems to get a little warmer. All right, we're not going to read the whole book, but there
Yeah,
we
we
go.
won't put you through the whole book.
Wow.
But when the grandbaby comes this week, I think we should read it to her. It looks like
think
something
so.
definitely suitable.
That's true. Yes, it does. Love gay Santa.
Yeah. So, is there anything else you'd like to talk about? Because we're going to call it a day. And thank you very much for joining us. Anybody that's not following us right now, this is your opportunity. Follow right now. If you follow right now, I'll call your name out right now. Go ahead. That means I get to watch the
This is
screen
on
go
TikTok,
roll.
looking at.
Yeah, TikTok. But if you're following on, let's see. Oh man, somebody the kitchen just followed us. Frizzy followed us. Fizzy followed us. Any new ones?
Follow the
Wow.
rainbow trail.
Do you have, that's like the same name? Like, I don't know. But anyway, Silvio followed. March Johnson followed. Okay, well, thank you everybody for all the new follows. Thank you for all the new gifts. And guess what? We will be back tomorrow.
Yes, we will be.
Tomorrow is Sunday, and we'll be back here at 8 o'clock in the morning Eastern time. We'll be back here, and we'll have coffee with the Rainbow Grannies. So I want to make sure that you get your coffee.
That's
and
right.
Get ready.
Get ready so to have some coffee with us.
Have some
good conversation.
Yeah, have some topics. Have something you want to share, something you want to talk about. Of course, we always need more conversation about this subject we're working on here. Let's see.
And so, and Adlai was saying, when you were talking about the holler, she said, "Oh, love that modern day holler. Do you know about the village movement?"
Yes, we are familiar with the village movement, where I believe Adelaide has an area in her community near Columbus where they're trying to get a lot of lesbians to all move into the area there so they can just have a really nice little world going on. So hopefully that works out for Adelaide and for all the other lesbians that need a neat place to live. And you know, our street, we had 2 different people buy houses on our street because
we had a rainbow flag up here.
They saw our flag and they want to live where they feel safe and happy. So
everybody have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Wait. Or we can't do it like that. Remember?
What?
We have to tell everybody that's over here on TikTok
to come over
here. So
I was
we
wondering
can
if
tell
you were going to do
secret.
it, but I didn't want to mention it.
Okay. Somebody type in the screen right now on TikTok, Edie and Judy Rainbow Grannies, our
YouTube.
our YouTube channel. And if you come over here to YouTube, to Edie and Judy Rainbow Grannies, we'll tell you a secret. Come on over. And then when you get over here to our YouTube channel, type something in the chat so we'll know you're over here. Let's see, do I have been misplaced from this? Ladybug, come on over to the YouTube and we'll talk about a few minutes of whatever you need to talk about. Thank you very much for the new followers. We're going to shut down my TikTok. I want you to come on over to the YouTube so I can tell you a secret over there.
Okay, come on.
Let me tell you a secret. Woo, woo, woo. Remember?
Promise not to tell. Whoa, whoa. Closer.
Woo, woo, woo.
Let me whisper in your ear.
Woo, woo, woo.
Say the words you love to hear. I'm in love with you. Oh. Okay, you're coming over?
Lainey just came over from TikTok. Jane just came over.
Jane and
Glenna.
Lainey.
Okay, looky here. Just listen. Come on over to over to YouTube. That's Edie and Judy Rainbow Grannies, so I can tell you the secret. I'm going to shut my TikTok down here. We're 60. See, I hate to go so quick because there's 67 people right now on TikTok. And you guys, when I shut this off, it's just like you just scatter to the TikTok winds. You're out there in a world that don't love you like we love you.
Make sure you're following so that you get it. You get a notification when we come on tomorrow. Okay, Shannon's here. Come on over from TikTok. Shannon. Come on over.
Come on over. Come on over. I know Susie's here. That's good. Come on over to our YouTube channel. It's Edie and Judy Rainbow Grannies, and in that way, we can go ahead and tell you the secret. Ladybug. Okay, see you tomorrow. See you later, bug. Let's see, you two are so beautiful. Oh, thank you, Noah. But you know, sometimes I can be an angry Black woman. When I don't even realize I am one. Just because I said, no, I don't want to do that. Or, excuse me, can I have a menu? Yeah. Do you know where the restroom is? It's like, oh my goodness.
So what's our t-shirt gonna say? Let's see. I have it here somewhere. I'm not an angry Black woman. I just want to ask a question.
Yep. Thank you very much. Let's see. Okay.
Adley, I'm glad you joined us too. Okay. Anybody else coming over?
Adley, is Vaughn up yet, or is it too early in the morning, or what's happening?
Okay, Autumn is here. Good morning, Granny. I got an L garden for Christmas, and my basil is coming in strong.
Oh, don't you just love it? I'm having trouble with that other kind of basil, but that Thai basil, it grows so much that when the spring comes, chances are I'm going to put it in dirt. I'm going to put it in dirt out there because I have to keep chopping it off. I mean, I have to cut
so fast.
Yeah. I have to keep chopping it off.
And Trisha's here. Okay, TikTok folks, we're saying bye to TikTok. Hang on here on YouTube.
See you tomorrow.
Secret for
See you tomorrow at 8:00. Bye-bye.
Oh, Autumn, they needed that and make a bunch of pesto.
Yeah.
I think Edie liked to grow. I don't think she liked to make stuff with it. She just liked to grow it. I put it in everything I cook. You know, if I make eggs, I put basil in the eggs. I make a soup. I make a stew. Everything goes in.
Just said, I guess that means hi.
Okay. Debbie's here.
Hey, Debbie. Hey, Autumn. Thank you very much. Now,
what's the secret, Edie?
Why do you
come on? Now you're going to see Edie angry. Ready? She's going to do an impersonation of an angry spouse. No? Okay. You want me to do an impersonation of an angry spouse?
How about you tell the secret this time? Because I always tell the secret. How's that?
How's that?
Yeah.
Let's see. The secret is that we're going to be back tomorrow. It'll be 2 days in a row that we're back to do YouTube and TikTok Live.
Okay, you guys know that the secret is, and it's not a secret, the secret is that we try to drag you over here to YouTube so that we make sure that you subscribe if you're not subscribed. YouTube is so much harder to get subscribers than TikTok is. Currently, we're almost at 79,000 followers on TikTok, and that was no easy feat. But YouTube is a real struggle. So if you're
And
not subscribed to YouTube, there's no charge to subscribe to
right,
YouTube.
right.
If you're not subscribed, please subscribe so that we can build the numbers and maybe
Lainey, just
thank you,
subscribe. Good.
Lainey.
And then you get notification when we come on because TikTok again is facing the Supreme Court. They were
That's
just
right.
there again.
Right. And that's what we had somebody just ask us this week. You got a backup plan if you lose TikTok? Well, yeah, we do have a backup plan. We have a backup plan that we use YouTube. So if you don't have a subscription to our YouTube,
Kate,
then
subscribe. Good.
yeah, then when
Yeah.
we go, then when something happened with TikTok, at least you'll know where to find us.
Right.
You know, because we're still going to be sitting there having our coffee, running our mouths, having a good old time and everything. You know, as far as TikTok goes, you know, they've told us so many times. You know,
Mhm.
it's almost like, hey, when your dad comes home, you're going to get your ass beat. Well, he comes home and says, "Hey, how's my honey doing?"
Right.
So mom says it next week. When your dad comes home, you're gonna get your ass beat. It's like, how many times can you tell the kids when your dad comes home, you're gonna get your ass beat, and they don't get their ass beat? So
Now it's like
they don't believe it.
yeah.
Yeah,
Once
yeah.
again, once
Mhm.
again. That's the
Yeah.
Supreme Court.
Sure,
One more
dad's
time.
gonna beat our ass. Anyway, I want to thank you all for following us,
Hey,
coming on over
Michelle.
here.
Michelle says hello, lady.
Thank you very much,
Okay.
Michelle.
And Jeffrey, when you told me, Fizzy, to go to YouTube, I followed you right when I saw you. Good. All right.
Thank you very much, Jeffrey. So we'll be on here tomorrow. You know, a lot of people actually log on to both,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because
Right.
the conversation flows faster on TikTok,
Uh-huh.
you know, and than YouTube. But we try to use both so that we can share,
Right.
you know.
And read out what everybody's typing. And
Kate
Kate
says,
said,
go ahead.
"Thank you for being here. YouTube brings so much light into my weekend." Aw. I'm glad. And Michelle said I follow you both on TikTok.
Thank you very much, Michelle. Thank you, Kate. Thank you all. Let's see.
And just because not everyone has TikTok and not everyone has YouTube, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So everybody have a great day. And we plan to be back tomorrow, 8 a.m. Eastern time. Yeah.
And don't be surprised if I have this same outfit on tomorrow because this is a pretty comfy thing.
Yeah,
This
that's
is one of
comfy,
them.
isn't it?
It's one of them things they call the grandma used to call a moo.
Yeah.
You know, it's a moo.
It's a moo-moo.
Yeah,
A rainbow moo-moo.
Yeah, it's a rainbow moo.
Yeah.
Okay, take care.
All right. Bye-bye, everybody.